Hi, my name's Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I'm happy you found me. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I'm going to label this Cracks That Let the Light In. This is a quick message and about trauma, and I will probably have a couple of guests next month that deals with trauma. But I just want to have you think about one thing. I want you to first, if you're not driving, I want you to close your eyes and just imagine with me just for a moment. Imagine a treasure so rare it seems the heavens themselves conspired to create it. And to bring this more down to home or to earth to you, imagine having that special turkey plate that's been handed down for generations from your family, and it's only pulled out on special occasions, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Oh, can you imagine that? The magnificent stories that's been told from it, the love that it represents, the sentimental value that it has, and is just from being passed down from generation from one to the next. It's also part of a priceless collection, like a family heirloom. It's been hand-shaped with care, kissed by fire, and painted with strokes of love. It is not just beautiful, it's almost sacred. To look upon it reminds you of what wholeness feels like, delicate yet strong, fragile yet eternal. For years, it's rested on a high, untouchable shelf, as though destiny was guarding it all by itself. But circumstances has a way of moving when we least expect it. One day, without warning, the plate falls. You hear the gasp, the helpless rush of air, and then impact. Boom! Silence afterward is louder than the shattering itself. What was once whole is now scattered and shattered, splintered into pieces so jagged you could barely hold them. This is the secret no one tells you. That priceless heirloom is you, your hearts, your minds, your soul. Trauma was the fall, the unexpected blow that leaves you scattered across the floor, and I would say the floor of your own lives. But remember this, brokenness does not have to be the final destination. Some traumas take months to work through, and some may take years of therapy to work through. And sometimes, just sometimes, the most powerful stories begin with the shattering. What is trauma? Most people might think it's the event, car accident, the betrayal, the abuse, the loss. But trauma itself is not just the fall. It's about the invisible fractured lines in our spirits, in our minds, and in our souls afterwards. Long after the injury have healed, like post-traumatic stress, PSD. It's what happens inside, in your mind and in your body, and your body is trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. Some wounds are like paper clips, sharp but transient. Others are like deep gashes, and trauma is that wound, if left unattended, can ache for years. Well, I think trauma has many faces. Some traumas arrive like lightning, a single strike that changes the landscape and changes your life in a single moment. Others arrive slow, like relentless rain, drop after drop, wearing away at the stone until there's a canyon where there used to be leveled ground. Acute trauma is like the lightning strike. Chronic trauma is the never-ending rain. Complex trauma is when the storms never really stop, starting in the earliest seasons of your life And then there's a secondary trauma, when you don't just carry your own storms, but the storms of those you love. And then, I hate to say it, but then you gotta deal with the aftermath, where trauma leaves the fingerprints everywhere. In the mind, it plants weeds of anxiety, doubt, and fear that keeps sprouting back. And in the body, it's like carrying a backpack full of bricks, the tension, the headaches, the fatigue. And then you have the relationships. It builds invisible walls, keeping others at a safe distance, even when we're longing for closeness. It's not weakness. It's your nervous system trying to protect you. Sometimes we fight, sometimes we flee, and sometimes we even freeze. The body's way of saying, I can't outrun this storm, so I'll have to just sit here in it until it passes. Sometimes storms come and they rage for a long time, but that storm will eventually be over, and what's left is the wreckage, like a tornado. But I want you to know something. There is a path to healing. Healing trauma is like tending to a garden that's been neglected for years. You can't just plant flowers over the weeds. You have to till the ground. You have to work the soil. You have to pull up the roots of the weeds and water the ground and nurture it. It starts with safety, finding spaces and people where you can feel safe and you can lower your guard just a little bit. It grows through connection, because isolation is like the oxygen for trauma, and community is the antidote. It deepens with integration, taking the scattered shards of your life story and fitting them together into something new, something that looks brand new but might be old. But that's where the beauty can be born. Did you know in Japan there's an art form called kintsugi? It's where the Japanese art of repairing a broken pottery by mending the cracks with lacquer dusted with gold, silver, or platinum. The cracks in your life, in your heart, in your spirit, in your mind aren't hidden. They're filled with shimmering of something that's good. They're being tended to, mended, and it's being changed and transformed into something more beautiful, more stronger, and more valuable. Just like the kintsugi. The cracks aren't hidden, they're filled with shimmering metal that making a piece more valuable than before. That's the healing you can look forward to. It's not erasing the scars, but making them part of your beauty, making you stronger. And if you're a believer, know this: many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth them out of them all. Can you imagine that? You don't have to stay in that journey. You don't have to stay in that moment. So I'm about to end this talk with 5 tools for your journey. And the first one I have for you is therapy. Speak to a professional if you're going through something. A safe guide for navigating the terrain of your story, your pain, your life, and your ordeal. And then the next thing you can do on your own is body and breath work. Breathe, move, be grounded, reteach your body it's safe. And one that is near to me, my second tool, is journaling. Like talking to your soul on paper. Journal. And then you have your creativity, your expressions, turning pain into poetry, music, or art. And then, don't forget this last part, self-compassion. Treat yourself like you would a dear friend who is hurting. Or you can also use the 12-second rule. According to neuropsychologist Dr. Rick Hansen, it only takes 12 seconds for the creation of a new neuron connection. Neurons that fire together wire together. Passing mental states become lasting neuron traits. Before I head out here, I just want to say this. If you're going through something and you have been traumatized by something, trauma may shape us, but it does not have to define us. Every wound carries both pain and possibility. And the pain that asks to be acknowledged, and there's possibility that invites us to heal, to grow and rise stronger than before. Healing is not a straight line. It's pretty much a journey of patience, compassion, and courage. If you're walking through the shadow of trauma, know this: you're not broken. You are becoming. And every step you take toward healing is a victory worth celebrating. I just want to say one last thing. We've all probably experienced trauma of some sort, some kind. So it's best that we might be mindful of others. So when you look at someone, you cannot see the falls they've survived, the fractures they've hidden, or the pieces they're still trying to put together in their lives. On the outside, these people might look whole, but on the inside, they may be carrying around shards that cut deeper than the words can even reach. This is why kindness matters. This is why compassion is not weak, it's wisdom. Because every smile, every gentle act, every kind word, everything that you do that is kind is probably the patience that could be the very thing that someone needs to believe that they can put these pieces of their lives back together. So do me a favor, be kind, be gentle, and be compassionate. For you never know the weight a person is carrying or how much your kindness might be the thing that they need to hear or experience to rise them from being shattered all over again. Hey, my name is Dave. You're listening to The Last Podcast. Do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe to my podcast. Subscribe and like this podcast. And do me a favor, share it with family, friends, co-workers, and associates. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for listening. I wish you a fantastic week and be blessed. So long.